You know those pictures, right? The ones of the absolutely perfect Hawaiian vacation? Well, what happens when the dream trip you planned online kind of crashes into reality? Today, we're going to dig into the super common mistakes that trip up most visitors, and more importantly, how a few simple shifts in your thinking can help you get it so right.
I mean, this is the image we all have in our heads. That perfect sunset, those quiet beaches, a totally stress-free escape. It's the postcard version of Hawaii. And you know what? It is absolutely achievable. But getting there isn't always as simple as it looks online.
So, what is that number one mistake? Well, here's the thing. It's not just one specific action. It's the entire way we go about planning these days, often based on the wrong advice. And that is exactly what we're going to unpack. And that brings us right to the heart of the problem, what I like to call the Hawaii planning trap. It's this cycle of online research we all do that feels super productive, but can actually, believe it or not, lead you completely down the wrong path.
It seems so easy, doesn't it? Watch a few videos, scroll some blogs, boom, you're an expert. But here is the catch. Hawaii is a living, breathing place. Things like traffic, tides, parking availability, even which trails are open, it all changes constantly. So that perfect advice from 6 months ago, it might be totally useless today.
Now check this out because this is where it gets really interesting. This table breaks down the tools we're all using. And look, social media and AI, they're fantastic for getting ideas and inspiration. But notice that massive blind spot. They completely fall short on accuracy and real-time local insight. And that's the critical gap that trips so many of us up. And you know, there's actually a psychological reason we fall for this. It's called the illusory truth effect. It's pretty simple. When dozens of blogs and videos all repeat the same top 10 must-do list, our brains just start to accept it as fact. We think, everyone's saying it. It must be true, even if that information is old, impractical, or just plain wrong for right now. Okay, so what does this planning trap actually look like when you're on the ground, on your vacation? Well, it shows up as a series of common, really frustrating, and often pretty expensive mistakes. These right here are the classic symptoms. Booking too late or spending hours on a tour bus just picking up other people. Or, my favorite, rushing to a hidden gem you saw on Instagram only to find, you guessed it, a giant crowd. All of these problems, they stem from that same planning gap we were just talking about. And let's get real about logistics for a second, especially traffic on Oahu. People always underestimate it. That supposedly quick drive from Honolulu up to the North Shore. Yeah, you better budget at least an extra hour and a half of travel time, maybe even more. There's a reason locals measure distance in minutes, not miles. And this illustrates another absolutely crucial point. Respect for the local culture and the aina, the land, is everything. Most visitors, of course, don't mean any harm, but simple mistakes like getting way too close to protected wildlife like these precious monk seals, or doing things like stacking rocks for a photo, can be incredibly disrespectful and actually damaging. Okay, so we've seen the problem, we've seen the symptoms, so how do we fix it? How do we plan smarter? Well, that brings us to the solution, the insider's playbook. So here it is. This is your action plan. I want you to start thinking of yourself as a strategic researcher. Dig into reviews, not just recent ones, but old ones too. Always double-check things like opening hours and closures on official websites. And please, be skeptical of the hype. Instead, try to seek out locally owned businesses. They're the ones on the ground who have the real-time knowledge you actually need. Seriously, if you remember one thing from this whole explainer, make it this. Timing is everything in Hawaii. By simply shifting your most important activities to the morning, you can dodge the afternoon traffic, the rain showers, and the biggest crowds. It's such a simple change, but it can completely transform the quality of your entire day. It's a total game changer. And that whole idea of timing, it leads right into our final section. Because this is about more than just a list of tips and tricks. It's about shifting your entire mindset to travel a little more like someone who actually lives here. This slide just breaks it down so perfectly. You've got two different approaches. On one side, there's the typical influencer trip. It's rigid, it's all about a checklist, and honestly, it's often really frustrating. But on the other side, you have the local trip. It's flexible, it's focused on the experience itself, and it's all about choosing the right time and the right place, not just the most famous one. So, after all of this, what's the real key? What's the secret to creating that truly unforgettable trip that we're all dreaming of? Well, here's the real takeaway. A truly amazing vacation isn't about how many things you can cram into your itinerary. It's about the quality of your experiences. It really all comes down to getting three things right: the timing, the place, and the guidance. Get those three right, and you're golden.
If you take anything away today, let it be this simple mantra: go slow, be intentional with your choices, and always, always be respectful of the land and its culture. That right there, that's the true secret to enjoying Hawaii the way it's meant to be enjoyed.
And that leaves us with one final question to think about for your next trip. Are you just planning a vacation to check off a bunch of boxes, or are you thoughtfully designing an experience that you'll remember for the rest of your life? The choice, as they say, makes all the difference.